Hey chaps. So I wanted to do a little pinstriping thing, but I was afraid that I was just going to make myself look like an idiot, so I haven't done it yet. But I'll give it a go, see how it goes. That's my little customized pinstriping brush. Sometimes they're just too thick, so if you trim off some of the hair at the bottom, you get a nice thinner line. So that is pretty awesome. And that took me on a journey of kind of customizing. This one's fairly nutty. This is my use a pencil customized brush. Same kind of vibe, cut off all the excess, but use a little pencil, which is pretty cool. And I mean, look at that. That's a blade. It's pretty awesome. So I've been enjoying using that one. But actually this is kind of neat, because this is the long bob number 2. It's a MAC brush, and if you take good enough care of it, it'll treat you right. Old long bob will take care of you. Various other ones, brushes, different bits and pieces. This box is wicked because this is like a Smith & Wesson pistol box, so it's got the look. So I might just use the old long bob today, and remember that most of these guys who do pinstriping, they've been doing this for a long time, and I'm just trying it out and having fun with it. So we'll just see how it goes. Trying to work out what colour I'm going to use. This is the one shot everyone loves. Nice little bit of lead paint. But hey, you know, life's too short to worry about toxic effects of lead paint. It's my little can opener. So we'll get that open. I've just done I don't know, I was messing around yesterday and I was trying to find the tear for Elvis and I couldn't find it. But I found the tear for Bowie, so I thought I'd try that out, and that worked out really well. In a strange way, I feel like someone's probably done this before and I'm just ripping them off, but I haven't worked out who it was yet. That's the way the brain works. Well, that's the way my brain works. I'll see something, then I'll forget it, and then I'll remember it as my own idea, which is kind of screwy. Happened with, there's a thing that Banksy did on the side of the Royal Festival Hall which just said boring, and I saw it in, needs a little bit of stirring. Yeah, I saw that and thought, yeah, that sounds like a good idea later on. And I need to, oh, it smells so good. Find a little stirrer. Let's try that. Oh my god. That's bad. It's like got proper skin on it. Jesus Christ. That is yuck. That's pretty yucky. See, this is why I didn't want to do this tutorial, because stuff like this is going to happen and I'm just going to get covered in paint and make a big mess. But you know, hey, what can you do? So I've been using the caps of my tubes, because I seem to have rather a lot of them, and they're always handy. So I'm going to kind of mix up a bit of white paint. Usually you want to use a tiny bit of white spirit first, just to thin it out so it flows. I'm only going to use like 2 drops. There we go. And then some of that. Oh yeah, starting to get a little bit high now. It's like the 60s. You can also kind of use a glossy magazine. Some tutorial that I watched, there's a guy saying, yeah, you use glossy magazine because it's a nice glossy surface, and then you've got like a nice surface to work with, which is cool and everything, but I've only got like country magazines and they're not very cool, so this is better anyway. So you kind of mix it so you get like a nice consistency, and then when you get that, when it's flowing nicely, then you're good to go. And you kind of want to hold it like that, so as you're going around corners you can kind of rotate it in a nice satisfying way. But we'll give it a go. So you're kind of using that finger on the surface to kind of hold the brush. Just do it like that. And obviously once you put your finger down, you don't want to be then going over that area that you just painted. Smudging it and making a big old mess is not a good option. But I was going to do this with a pen, but then I thought, you know what, it's nice to have a sort of a brushy kind of vibe to it. Yeah, this is the real tricky bit. To kind of do a nice curve. Yeah, like, give that a 5 out of 10. Because right here you want to have a nice curve on it. And when you actually do a bit of research, you can go onto YouTube and start watching some of these guys doing the tutorials. And they have just got this down. I first started seeing a lot of pinstriping in California on like Latin American guys' cars. Some of the lowrider stuff in California. And also I kind of got into customizing lowrider bicycles when I lived in San Jose, and there was some good pinstriping going on there, because the culture of that was the younger kids who didn't have cars saw like the cool uncle who had his customized car, and they wanted to have something like that, and obviously they couldn't get a car, but they could find parts for a Schwinn Stingray and then make lowrider bicycles out of those. So when I heard about this and I found a shop that was kind of the meeting place for all these kids who were part of this lowrider bicycle culture, I kind of started doing my thing. So I had like a his and hers matching set of lowrider bicycles. You hear about this in the Beastie Boys lyrics. My chrome is shining just like an icicle. Ride around town on my lowrider bicycle. So I heard the call from the Beastie Boys and I accepted the challenge. And yeah, didn't make the move back to London. They ended up staying in California. But yeah, it's really, really therapeutic, and obviously you get high on the paint, so you know, what's not to love? And you can do it on cars. I recommend just getting on YouTube and just start searching, and yeah, it's pretty epic. So that looks pretty good. Sometimes you can actually like do a test in pencil, and then you kind of know where you're going, or you can just freestyle it. Sometimes it's having that kind of I don't care attitude, rather than being really, oh my god, I'm really focused on this, I can't screw up. It's a lot more fun just to have fun and make some nice lines. You probably can't even see that, it's just white on white. But what's really cool is that I've been doing some research about the connection between David Bowie and Elvis Presley, and apparently Elvis was interested in getting Bowie to produce his next album, and 6 months before he died he contacted Bowie and asked him about doing some production. Unfortunately he died and that never happened, and in 1977 Bowie thought that Golden Years would be a good song for Elvis to sing, which would have been amazing actually if you think about it. But they never made the call, and it never happened. It's one of those things, woulda, coulda. But it's nice when you think that there are these connections between different artists, when you're actually creating something which is kind of a mashup. You think about the connection between different artists, and Elvis wrote a song that was not released until later called Black Star. Maybe that was inspiration for David Bowie's Black Star album, or maybe there's just no connection whatsoever. There you go. I think it's a nice effect because you can tell that it's brushed. It's just sexy. Sexier than a pen. And now I'm a little bit high, so I'm going to go off and have a little dance to Elvis Presley.